A dredging project in Osterville gets an extension. We take a look at unemployment numbers in Barnstable County, and Barnstable Village is closer to becoming the second cultural district in town. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Wednesday, January 15th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mantle. A dredging project 100 yards off Dowses Beach in Osterville will take a little longer than expected. Town architect John Juros went before the Conservation Commission to request an extension this week. Juros says crews found unknown debris at the bottom of the canal that halted work.
We're not certain what it is. It may be just an original foundation from some pier at one point. Not certain. We talked about a dive team going in, and Dan Horn was going to see what he could try to do that. It's not very deep there. It's just you don't want to go walking out in that stuff because we've already had our CLE consultants out there, and they were in their waders up to their waist and sinking, and said, well, we're not going any further than that.
Juros says a crane or long-reach excavator will be used to remove the debris, and then dredging will continue. Juros expects dredging to be complete by the end of the month. The winter months are typically slow for employment opportunities on Cape Cod, and the numbers are reflecting that slowdown. The November numbers indicate a 7.6% unemployment rate for Barnstable County as compared to 7.2% a year ago. Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board Director David Augustino says overall things are a bit slower this time of year.
Although I do know that the December national employment numbers for new hires was very low. So although the new claims for unemployment have been steady at an acceptable rate, so I'm not sure. I guess the best I can say is there are mixed signals, and so I'm hoping to look at a few months of data to see where we are. Of course, we're entering our real slow period, so when we look at numbers for December, January, and February, they will be in that 7 to 8% range. We would expect to see that. Numbers won't start coming down probably until March or even April.
Augustino says he will have a better gauge on the complete unemployment picture in a few months. Barnstable could soon become the second Massachusetts town with 2 cultural districts. Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin sat down with Joanne Miller-Buntich, the Director of Growth Management, to discuss the process. We share a portion of that interview with you now.
Some exciting stuff going on. I know the Mass Cultural Council was in town last week, so why don't we start there? Tell me a little bit about the tour of Barnstable Village.
Yes, well, we're working at the request of the Barnstable Village to delineate, define, and have certified another cultural district in Barnstable Village. We have one in downtown Hyannis, the High Arts Cultural District. It's a program by the state that helps communities really think about and focus on their cultural assets, and then look at ways to expand that programming and market everything that's going on. And so, you know, the two are going to be quite different. Barnstable is really focused on their history. They call themselves the Barnstable Village Historic Cultural District, or Historic Barnstable Village. I better get that right. But the word historic is in there. And so the process is the town files an application with the Mass Cultural Council, and they come down and have a very thorough site visit. They want to walk the district because one of the requirements is that the district be walkable, and they want to look at all the assets. They want to talk to the town partners, and then in the afternoon they talk to the private stakeholders in the district. And we were there the whole day, and it was great. They are so organized in Barnstable Village. They are up and running. They are doing stuff already. So I feel really good about the application. But we'll hear, I think, in March. I think towards the end of March, we'll hear about the designation. We would then become, that would become the 20th cultural district.
Wonderful.
So everybody's talking about a party, which is, you know, we like that. Growth management likes parties. And Also, we'd be the second community in the state to have two. Gloucester has two. They have one at Rocky Neck, I think it is, and then in Gloucester. And so we would, as a town, be the second community in the state to have two cultural districts. So
Great.
Very excited about that.
Definitely, and I mean, just thinking about Barnstable Village, it is full of history, it's full of art, it's full of culture, easy to walk, so certainly it seems to me like a no-brainer to make it a cultural district.
Absolutely. I mean, the argument can be made that, the nation started or had a very important part of the nation's history began in Barnstable Village. So
Absolutely.
very exciting.
So very exciting. So again, in how long are we expecting to wait to hear?
We heard from the Mass Cultural Council that they would be looking at this at their March meeting,
Great.
I believe. And I think it's towards the end of March, so.
So hopefully by summertime we'll have
Yes.
that new signage up and everything will
Exactly.
be cool.
Exactly.
So you brought a couple of visual aids with you today.
Good. These are probably my favorite, the
We
favorite
like
part
these.
of my job. This check.
Ooh, oh, look at that.
Look
That
at
looks really
that.
good on screen too.
From the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs is a grant for which we applied to their park program, Parkland Acquisition. I'm going to forget what the acronym stands for.
But it's PARC.
PARC. And this is for Pleasant Street Pier. Down at the end of Pleasant Street, the town owns a little piece of property. There's a bulkhead there for commercial fisheries. It adjoins the Steamship Authority open land. And we have worked through the public process to develop a concept for some slight rearrangement of things, allowing for recreational fishing and interpretive features to help people understand the harbor a little better. So we're very excited about this. One of the things that happens when we do these projects is we spend a lot of time in public process to arrive at a concept so we can create a budget so we can apply to the grant program, and then getting the funding can take a while. So we will re-energize that public process once again before, as we move towards final construction plans.
Excellent. Certainly
We're
looking
excited
forward to
about that.
And there's another one down
There's
there.
another one down there. This is for the Ridgewood Park.
Excellent.
And this is from the Gateway City Parks program from EOEEA. And Barnstable is one of 24, and they keep adding them, but I think it's 24 at the moment. Gateway Cities in Massachusetts. Essentially, it's a bootstrap program. It doesn't have any funding of its own, but the Gateway Cities are preferenced in certain funding sources. And so this is for Ridgewood Park. We've worked with the neighbors there for several years about it, and we're all very excited about it. So that will follow the same process. We have to get someone to do the construction drawings, and then the construction will commence. And we'll be back out to the public to make sure that the construction that we anticipate is what they expected. So.
Exactly. But we're all set in terms of the Ridgewood Park. The design is all set. The residents
concept is done.
are happy.
Yep,
for
the
most part.
residents are happy. Yep. There'll be right now the park is divided into two sort of blocks, and the neighborhood was interested in having that middle portion of the roadway removed so that it can be just one park. And so we'll be initiating that process shortly. That discontinuance process has to go through the town council, and so we'll start to work on that.
Budget planning continues for Barnstable Public Schools. As part of the process, the school committee will take part in a workshop with town council during tomorrow night's meeting. Finance Director Mark Milne says the workshop will lay the groundwork for the next fiscal year's budget.
We run a consolidated finance operation so that we do provide assistance to the school administration in developing their budget proposal that goes to the school committee. So that's unique in that the town of Barnstable really is the only community in Massachusetts that conducts a finance operation like that. So we're really a support function. We don't determine spending priorities. We leave that up to the administration and school committee. However, we cost out various types of proposals depending upon the strategies that they want to implement in delivering the services that they provide to the community. So I think this meeting also might be a little bit unique in that we have a opportunity for both of our elected bodies to come together and hear the same information, so that everybody is up to date and aware of what the town's financial condition is.
Milne says tomorrow's presentation will also include a 10-year forecast. Town Council meets tomorrow night at 7 in the Town Hall hearing room. That meeting will air live right here on Channel 18. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.